Asif Qureshi, who bills himself as Britain's first and only gay Muslim drag queen, also known as Asif Lahore. But first, we're joined from Birmingham by Dr. Mohammed Naseem, who's recently made some highly controversial comments about homosexuality. Dr. Naseem, first, is it possible, in your view, to be both gay and a Muslim?
Well, if you know your religion and what it says, then I'm afraid it is not possible.
It is not possible, but there's nothing in the Quran, is there, that justifies a woman having her sexuality beaten out of her, as we've just seen in our film there. You'd condemn that, I assume?
There are two things. We are not in a position, we are not required to condemn anybody. They can choose their way of life, but they don't have to be Muslims.
But you'd condemn someone's family beating a woman's sexuality out of her, wouldn't you?
That is very wrong. We live with all kinds of people of different religion, people who do not believe in God, but that does not mean that we should be disrespectful to them or violent towards them. That is wrong.
So do you then, if you're saying people should respect homosexuals, presumably you would regret saying a few days ago that gay men and women share a common trait with murderers and paedophiles?
Well, I think I'm very surprised that that color was put on it, the interpretation was put on it. It was only a simile. A simile does highlight a common characteristic. It doesn't establish sameness. And I'm very surprised that, knowing the English language, that color was put on it.
But can't you see, it's not an interpretation. I mean, you told the Birmingham Mail that homosexuals and murderers shared a common trait. And can't you see how offensive that is to many people?
No, please, I did never say, if you read my article or letter, I did never say the homosexuals are murderers.
No, you didn't say they were murderers, but you said you referred to one common trait. Can't you see how offensive that is to people?
And that common trait is a compulsive desire in oneself to be something. Now, that is the only common factor that I was highlighting.
But do you not see how that is abhorrent to many Britons, including many Muslims?
I don't know. I have known many homosexuals. I have a great respect for them. Peter Thatcher is one of them. I have a great respect for his humanity. It is not my field. It is not for me to sit on judgment. And nobody should force me to accept something which is not acceptable.
Dr. Mohammed Naseem, thank you very much for joining me. Don't go away just yet, but for the time being, thank you. Let me bring in Asif Qureshi now. I just want you really to respond to what you've just heard from Dr. Naseem.
Just two things that I want to pick up from that. I mean, one thing is sexuality being a choice. I don't think everybody knows it's 2014. Sexual orientation is not a choice. What is a choice is ignorance and human prejudice on the matter. And secondly, I mean, Dr. Naseem is praising Peter Thatcher and giving me the opinion that it's okay to be gay as long as you're not Muslim. And I totally disagree with that.
What about this idea that he's saying you can't be gay and be a Muslim?
I think you can. I mean, there are thousands of people that identify in the UK as gay and Muslim today, and thousands that, you know, will be looking to, are looking to either come out or are looking to their faith for some sort of guidance on the matter and some sort of acceptance. It's 2014, and to say that, you know, to equate us as being murderers or perverts, I think is totally wrong. And it's important for that to be acknowledged.
How tough is it being gay and Muslim, would you say?
Me personally, it's a challenge. However, I have overcome those challenges. I'm very happy in my life. I am out to my parents, to my family, to my community, and I have much support in the community.
And your family?
My family are very, very supportive in what I do.
And there were women in the film who were too scared to show their faces to us. How courageous do you think you're being speaking out here tonight?
It takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of guts to speak out, especially when you hear things like, you know, being equated to being a murderer, which are absolutely not true, and that are being, you know, told to the communities. And in many ways, the communities are being fed wrong information, which ultimately, I think, leads to a lot of gay teenagers committing suicide today, and homophobic attacks against people like me as well from within the community.
And you were nervous about possible repercussions of coming here tonight?
There's obviously, nerves obviously play a part in this, but I don't think I'm going to allow that to stop me from saying what I believe is right.
Aisha, in our film, said that things were getting better. Do you share that view, or are you slightly more pessimistic?
No, I totally share Aisha's view. More and more young Muslims are coming out, identifying positively as being gay. What needs to happen now is there's a definite lack of role models from my community that I identify as gay or lesbian. And the next step is just basically raising the visibility of people like myself in the UK today.
Well, the fact that you're the only British Muslim drag queen sort of highlights that lack of role models, doesn't it?
Definitely. I mean, when I first started performing, I was literally the only Muslim, you know, drag queen performing on the circuit, and it definitely raised a lot of eyebrows.
What would you say to any gay Muslims who are watching this now? What would be your message to them?
There are many gay Muslims at the moment that feel that they are the only one, that feel very, very isolated. And what I want to say to them is not to lose hope. They're not the only ones, and there's a lot of love, help and support out there for them.
Asif Qureshi and Dr. Mohammed Naseem, thank you both very much for joining me.